Good morning. I would like to share with you my experience of publishing a book through the Ingram Spark platform. Now, the reason I'm making this video is number one, it's all on my mind, and I think you will get value out of this if you are where I was maybe about 2 months ago, and that is trying to find information online about should I use Ingram Spark. And there's just, I couldn't find it. It's just a lot of waffly videos. So I don't want this to be a waffly video. I want this to help you come to a decision whether this platform might be right for you. Now, the reason I think I can give you some valued insight into this is because I have written 3 books so far, and each of them I have published in a different way. So the first book that I wrote is The Second Best Job in the World, and this was published by HarperCollins. So this is going through a mainstream publishing house. The whole process maybe took about 18 months, and there's benefits to doing that, but really, I don't want to do it again. I'm very much happy having control of this process. Then the next book I published was Get Video Smart. Now, I'm not happy with this book. And I mean, honestly, I published it so I had a book in my hand that I could leverage and trade off. This book has changed people's lives. They've told me, but still, I never published this mainstream, so I didn't put it up for sale on Amazon. It was only a book that you could get from me. But my thinking wasn't developed enough. And so I published this myself, but I went through an agent who organizes the self-publishing for you. So I wrote the manuscript and I sent that, then they outsourced it to someone to do the layout and everything else. So really, it was self-published, so I maintained the rights to the book because when you publish mainstream, you don't have the rights to your content anymore, not as a whole book. And there are parts of me that I wish that I had this, but I didn't know any better at the time. So HarperCollins owns all that. I can publish small chunks of this, but that's about it. This book is that I've taken maybe about 20% of this book, and then that has formed my new book, which is released in 2 days' time. Press the red button. This is simply the best book that I have written. It is, it just is. But I did this through the Ingram Spark platform. So it comes out, the book is a beautiful looking book. It looks, now that's overexposed. You can see a little bit in there. The blade, it's no different to if you went through a mainstream platform. But I used their online book building tool, and I want to take you through that today. Just one thing, I want to share this with you too. When I published this book, it's thick and it's really hard to open, and it really annoyed me because if I was trying to read this, you have to sort of hold it down. I actually used to put a big binder clip on the top. So I went for a 9x6 on this, and and because it's fewer pages, it opens beautifully, and it's a much better physical read because of that small thing. So let me share with you this Ingram Spark process, and I'll tell you what it is and what it does for you, and then I'll take you through some of the features and benefits which I really liked about it. So Ingram Spark is simply it's a big company which is a book publishing company, mainly has do-it-yourself authors on there. And what they'll do is you can publish your book through them, and they have like maybe 200 outlets or connections with like Amazon and Goodreads and Barnes and Noble bookstores, and I don't even know if Borders still exist, but all the big bookstores, so they can get it out into the world for you. And they do it for a fee. It's about $50. It costs you, so when you do it, you say, do you want a paperback, or do you want an ebook, or do you want both? the price for both is the same as doing a paperback book or a hardcover book. So you just select both, and it's about $50. It's really economical. You sign up, you get access to this platform, and it's like your portal where you can set all your distribution prices, and it's all pretty much automatically done for you. So this is press the red button. You set up your print info for the book, and it's got this print pricing for all these different countries around the world. European Union, United Kingdom, United States, Canada, Australia. You just put in your price that you want, and it automatically populates with the current other prices. It's very much it's a very easy process, and I really like that. Now, I'm not publishing this book to sell copies. I'm not trying to make money doing this. This is a book for me to trade off my speaking and my coaching courses. So I want to get this in people's hands. If I make a few shekels along the way, selling it, great, but that's not the purpose that I'm doing this for. And the same with your ebook. It lets you set up the ebook, and then it automatically puts this up to Amazon, to Kindle. It does it all for you, so saves an awful lot of time that way. You can write your file, you can write your project, outsource it to someone who does the book layout, and then you can upload those files and your cover files to Ingram Spark, and it automatically checks them for you and gives you the thumbs up and lets you publish. Or you can do what I did, which was use their inbuilt book builder. So you click the button, edit my files, and it takes you to the book builder. I really like this. I did. So what you do, I'm not going to take it, this is not a how-to, but basically one by one you build your sections or your chapters of the book, and you can choose whether it's a chapter, whether it's a section, whether it's a notes, whether it's references, just by a click of a button, and it all orders it for you. And what I like about this is, if you decide, the order of those chapters is in the wrong order, you literally click and drag these and it reorders, and it does all the table of contents is all automatically reordered for you. I'll just click on one and show you what you get. So this is the first chapter. It does a little bit of, it's hoo-ha there. And then you can just edit. It's like a word editor in here. You have all your editing tools, but this is all set up for doing your book, and it's really quite simple. It doesn't give you a whole range of choices. But then as you go, if you save it, what it does on the right-hand side over here, in each chapter, it actually shows you what the final layout in the book looks like. And I just found this wonderful, because I could go through and I could see where the pages ended, and if I just wanted to start the next chapter on a new page, and you can put your images in, just wonderful for that. But I'm just going to exit that there, go back to this main screen. As you're building your book, and this I just loved, over on the left, it's got a preview over here. These here are layouts for your book, and it's got about maybe 10 or so different pre-built layouts. I just chose the first one, this Austin layout. You click the preview button. Now, what it's going to do is generate the entire book for you. Now, whether you've got one chapter, 1.5 chapters, 10 chapters, it goes through and it shows you what, if you were reading the book, what it would look like, and what your ebook is going to look like, which is a little bit different. But this is the final paperback book. And to get that sense of where I was through the process, what the book was coming out like, what the reader was going to feel, I found this invaluable. So here we go. This is like if you were flicking through the pages. Here it is, the table of contents. Remember I said this just gets all automatically done and reordered. And this is if someone was reading the book. If you read this, this is that. And to see it and get that feel ahead of time, I just absolutely loved. This is one of the main reasons that I went with it, because I could sort of go through and go on the reader experience. And because when I write concisely, but also emotionally. In that sense, I want to know, what are they feeling at this point? What's their optimism like? And this gave me that opportunity to do that. Absolutely love this. So that's one of the main features. You can also generate your own cover in here. So I've half used this. What you can do, if you had nothing else, you can actually go through and just use their templates and build it up. But it's pretty tacky, really. But all I did was I made up my cover design myself, but then I outsourced it to a graphic designer to get the colors and the ink levels and all that right. Because if you don't get that right, I'll show you what actually happens. But then all I did was uploaded my cover design to their builder, and it's sort of like a seamless process. And what happens is, if you change how many pages are in your book, this automatically adjusts the spine width here. So like you get, because one of the problems is that, if you adjust how many pages are, then you have to adjust what your cover is, because it's got to adapt for, that spine width there. So this is good. But if you don't get your colors correct, and honestly, just outsource it to a graphic designer who does this, and charge you a fee, and I'll just get all those settings right for you. I'm going to get to ordering the books in a moment, but you can order one book at a time, and I just love this. And it takes a couple of days. You put rush order, and I'll go through the pricing in a moment, but it actually comes physically like this. So if people are booking through bookstores or something, this is how they can order their book, and this is actually how they get it. But this was the first copy that I had through. I know I'm back to front here, but because you're not going to see this. No, it's too small. But there's bleeding on that, like the letters sort of bloom a bit, and that's because I had my saturation, my ink levels way too high. I got the second copy through just a couple of days ago, and it's just perfect. It's just perfect. Looks like something you'd buy in the shops. So just a small thing to watch out with there. So that's how you can use that book builder. Oh, I should tell you this. Then as you're going through, one thing I couldn't work out early on was how to get a copy of what I was writing to send to somebody else to get some feedback. So when you're finished your book in this book builder, you go up to the right here and you go approve my book, and you go through this step by step. You go I approve, continue. Now you can do this and nothing happens until you get right to the very, very last step. So you can do this over and over and over again. It's going to look at the interior of my book. So all my words now, and it's just generating it here, it's actually making a full PDF of the interior of the book. And so now it's come up here, review my interior. I click yes, and this is just going to a web page now. It's coming up with your stand. You'll see the PDF come up in a moment. Here it comes, loading. There it is. Now that's that whole interior of the book as a PDF. And what you can do now is just download that. So if you want to download the interior or your cover, to send copies to, get some early response or something, that's how you can do it. It took me about 3 weeks to work that out. So hopefully that'll help you. One thing then was that when I had written that, what I did was I downloaded this PDF, and then I transferred it to a Word document, and then I sent that went on Fiverr, and I just shared. This is this woman. Her name is Editor Nancy, and this book is about 22,000 words or something, And it cost me, there you are, $303.55 Australian for her to proofread it for me. She's excellent. She's an industry professional, like super economic price. And it was just great. It was back within about 6 days. And so maybe you can use that as well. So then Ingram Spark gives you all these tools. And one is this cover template generator. So what you can do is that you put your ISBN number in. The whole process starts with you getting an ISBN number. Go and look at how to get that. You just buy them, and that's the number for your book all around the world. What it can do is when you put that in, it will generate a template exactly for that book for like 112 pages. And then you can get this template and you can send that to a graphic designer, and they have then all the details and the information to do it correctly for you. So that's another tool. This print and ship calculator. So again, I just put that in. If I've got to go through and do, normally it's populating all my details. I just got to give it a moment. But if you wanted to work out if you had a client who was over in the UK or in another country, you can put their country in and you can put the number of books and all that, and it will tell you exactly how much it's going to cost you to ship. And whether it's one book, it will be shipped like this, because they have these print facilities in Europe, in the UK, in America, in Australia. And so if I wanted to ship to the UK, I don't have to have them printed here and shipped. They'll use the UK facility, so the price goes down, and you can ship directly to someone's address. I love this as an easy tool for me to be in control. Then you have this publisher compensation calculator, and you know how I said you can set those figures around the world. If you want it to go into bookstores, you have to give them a wholesale discount, and they recommend 55%. I just did that. So if you want them, they get a discount. And it once you put it in, and you hit the calculate button, it tells you how much you're going to get from each sale. And you can go through and play with that. And again, I'm not trying to sell books. So, like this sells for $25 Australian, and I end up getting maybe, I don't know, $4.90 or $7. I can't remember even what it is. I'm not that interested if I sell a book. Now, they're distributing it around the world. Bingo, sounds good for me. Now, look, I'm not a book expert. I mean, you go and look, elsewhere for further information. But these are the things that stood out for me as a speaker, author, coach, thought leader, someone with something to say and who wants to leverage that with a book. These are the tools that I found useful. Then I want to show you this, because if you want to order your books, so this is all in this portal. You just click on the relevant. If you want to order the books, so I went in here and I've just done 100 copies, and it tells you can do it in an economy, which takes 5 days, or a rush service. So the economy, it says, usually prints in 5 business days. The rush service prints in 1 business day. Same with your delivery. Do you want standard postage or premium? Now, I wanted to get 100 of these books back fairly quickly and get them out. So I ordered 100. And on premium shipping, instead of $27 for standard shipping, it was $136 premium shipping. And I thought, wow, it's over $100 more. I was going to pay it. And just by chance, I went in and put 60 in there. And I've just already pre-done this for you. Standard was $21, premium was $48. So it went, by ordering 60 books, it went from like from $100 extra postage down to about $30 extra postage. I want 60. Why not? I can get going with 60. So just having these tools at your fingertips that enable you to make these decisions I found a whole heap more valuable. So that is it. If you want to publish a book, my experience, let me go back. My experience with this Ingram Spark has been that I enjoyed the process. It like a little bit of learning when you go in there. You go, which button do I push? You finally work out where it is. But once I would use this again. This has put me in control. And the book comes out looking like a book that any publisher would get you. And yeah. But when you're publishing business books, you've got a choice between white and cream paper. And cream looks like a novel. I was going to get it. I spoke to a number of people and they said they felt their book looked cheap because what they do is they use for business books the 50 pound of whatever it is. It's 50. You don't get a choice for business books. It's white and it's the one size. You can get the heavier. Now, I should just tell you too, I wrote this book. This took me so long to get it this small. Like this was originally twice as thick. And it's taken me an extra year to get it half the size. So you can go from here to there in faster time. But what it also means, it means that if I'm shipping these books, it's half the weight. Two of these, this is less than 250 grams. Two of these will go in a standard 500 gram mailer. So it makes sense, because I'm doing this myself. I'm not a big business. Where you can, cut your costs, makes sense. All right. If you're watching this in replay, put, hashtag team replay in there. If you've got any questions, please let me know. And again, the reason I'm doing a book video on video for all is that it's like, book and video are like a knife and a fork. Which one's better? You can't argue. Together, they are really, really, really powerful. So that's what I'm doing here. All right, terrific. I hope this helps, and you guys have a lovely day. Hooroo.